Holy
Just hit $1 million invested.
We still remember the day we hit it. Just 12 months prior, we wrote it down as our next big milestone goal. And now we were celebrating hitting it. So how did we get there?
Let me paint the picture. It's summer 2020. I was 14 months into life as a realtor, and Mal was about to celebrate her first full year in her coaching business. We had just bought our first home earlier that year, and we were finally making the money moves we'd always talked about.
Somewhere between wiping down groceries and another virtual Zoom hangout with friends, we decided to put down the finance books and actually get our feet wet. I took my $36,000 that I had saved through university and opened a robo-advisor account because I knew enough to know I knew nothing about stocks.
As someone who gets FOMO way too easily, I took my entire life savings of $5,000 and dumped it into a random hot stock at the time, hoping to be the next day trading success story. By the time New Year's Eve hit, we'd invested $30,000 more. We ended our first year of investing with $70,000 in stocks and $150,000 in real estate equity for a total of $220,000 invested.
That got us excited and lit a fire under us. With our new businesses gaining traction and the pandemic lockdown on and off, we asked ourselves, what would happen if we locked in and tried to make as much money as possible this year? But we didn't expect what we were able to pull off.
We made just under $500,000 each in our businesses, allowing us to buy our second property, move us from the suburbs into the city, and turning our first home into a long-term rental.
And we ended the year with another $60K invested, nearly doubling our stock investments. That put us at $130,000 in stocks, $288,000 in real estate equity, landing us a total of $420,000 invested, almost exactly double our 2020 numbers. Looking back at it now, 2021 will always be a catalyst year for us. Neither of us really grew up around entrepreneurship or even personal finance conversations, so we were always learning everything as we go. In 2021, we accomplished so much of what we aspired to do one day that it really became the year that we proved to ourselves we are capable of so much more than we realized.
At this point, we were zeroed in on real estate and wanted to see if we could keep buying one property per year. We took a stab at the numbers and quickly realized our only shot was finding the perfect cottage property. And by March, we found it.
They say luck is where preparation meets opportunity, and that's exactly how it felt. We spent the summer renovating it, using some of the cash from our big year in business to fund it, and investing the rest. The renos increased the value of the property by $100,000.
It was a stressful yet memorable summer. We knew enough at the time to soak in every moment of it. There's something special about knowing your hands built the walls that your family will gather in for years to come.
We somehow focused on maintaining momentum in the businesses, keeping them lean, and had another great cash year. We invested aggressively, adding a combined $240,000 to our stock portfolio that year.
We kept searching for a big secret on how we hit that. It came down to making as much money as possible in our businesses and funneling that cash into investments. We knew this strategy was not sustainable in the long term because of how much we were trading our time for money. But we also knew the value of getting that cash and investing sooner, so we tried to invest as much as we could, as soon as we could. 2022 saw massive growth for us. We ended the year with $360,000 in stocks, $420,000 in real estate equity, and a total of $780,000 invested.
It had been 3 years since our first investment, and little did we know 2023 would be the year we hit our first $1 million invested.
We contributed another $217,000, and our existing investments continued to grow in the market. We invested in a startup for the first time, we dabbled with cryptocurrencies, and continued to pay down our properties.
By the end of the year, we finished with the following breakdown: $570,000 in our stock portfolio, $60,000 between startup and crypto, $457,000 in real estate equity, for a grand total of over $1 million invested.
We did it. $1 million invested in just about 3 years. Funny enough, we missed celebrating this one because we hadn't yet built our net worth tracker and weren't tracking all our assets at the same time. And truthfully, we kind of already moved on to the next investment goal. Thankfully, that tracker has been completed and we've been using it for a few years now. If you want to check it out for yourself, look at the description below.
Over the years, we shifted from a real estate heavy portfolio to more and more in stocks and other assets. Our portfolio was still about 42% real estate, so we set a new goal of $1 million invested, excluding our properties. As we learned more about our financial journey, we realized we wanted to be able to pay ourselves from our investments sooner than our original plan and without pulling from our real estate.
In 2024, we were able to contribute another $100,000, and we finally got to see the eighth wonder of the world, compounding interest. Our portfolio grew more than 20% as markets continued to flourish, and before we knew it, we had hit our $1 million goal in less than 12 months.
Holy The version of us that were nervously excited to open an investment account 5 years ago wouldn't believe this 7-figure portfolio breakdown. $945,000 in stocks, $87,000 between startup and crypto, for a subtotal of just over $1 million. And $575,000 in real estate equity for a grand total of $1.6 million.
When we summarize the last 5 years of our lives like this, we know it sounds crazy. But in the moment, you just take it one day at a time.
For us, it's always about keeping the long-term vision, but focusing on the short-term milestone that's in front of us. We honestly can't wait to see what the next 5 years look like.